Hello and welcome to this workout, a full body workout. You'll need a mat, a chair, some light dumbbells, and maybe a blanket for some knee padding. Let's start with a warm up. Step your right foot to the side, bend the knee, send the hips back, stretch through the inner thigh. Come on up, other side, bend the opposite knee, alternating knees here, stretching through the inner thigh. Let's add an arm reach. Opposite arm reaches out and come up. Reach and in. So notice as I bend back, the chest stays lifted, shoulders stay rolled back. We're really moving with the hips here, hinging at the hips with a long and lifted back, reaching out with the opposite arm. Just a couple more. Press into the heel each time you bend the knee. Last one, and come up. Knee raises are next, bringing one knee up towards the chest, point through the toe, alternating sides here. Shifting your weight left to right. Take the arms up overhead. Let's add the arms, reach and lift. Speed it up just a little bit. You're working your hip flexors, your stability muscles of your core. You're stretching through your shoulders and warming up your hip and your shoulder joint. A good warm up is so important before you start your workout. Gets the blood flowing, it's gentler on the heart, give your blood vessels time to dilate and help send blood to all your muscles, make sure they're warm and prevent injury. It also helps you check in to see if you're mentally ready for your workout. Are you physically and mentally ready? Last two. And last one, take it to some side shuffles. Get low here. We're gonna step to the left of our mat. Little steps back and forth, staying low. So you're using your big quadriceps muscles in your legs. Tap, step, step, and tap, step, 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 tap. So as you stay low, you're using all the muscles in your hips and your legs, articulating through the feet. Step, step, and tap. Just a couple more side shuffles. Last one. Step, tap, and come up. Side reaches. Take one leg out to the side, reach that same side arm overhead. Big stretch through the whole body and bring it in. Bend the knees. Step, reach, bend the knees. Side step, reach, and bend. So as you reach overhead, visualize lengthening through your rib cage. Inhale, reach, exhale down. Inhale and exhale. So our breath is the infrastructure for our movements. Coordinate our breath with lengthening and expanding through the ribs. A couple more side reaches. Point the toe as you reach, stretching through the top of the foot and the ankle. Lower and lift, last reach, and bring the arms in. Grab a hold of your weights. Today I'm using 2 pounds, but you might bump it up for a little challenge. We're gonna start with a single leg overhead press. Shift your weight to your left leg, lift your right knee up. You can also just keep the right toes on the mat and then press the weights overhead. So we're balancing on one foot as we press the weights overhead, strengthening our shoulders, our arms, our legs, our feet, and our ankles as they work to stabilize you in the balancing position. And lower. Reach and lower. If your shoulders are sensitive, you can keep the reach a little lower. You don't have to reach all the way up. Listen to your body here. Do what feels good. Maybe you alternate between lifting the leg and placing the toes on the mat. Last one. And lower. Bring the arms down. We'll switch sides. Shift your weight to your right leg now. Little bend in your standing knee. You're gonna lift your left knee up or just lift the left heel up. Take it to your overhead press. Single leg overhead press on this side. And lower. Slowly lower. Resist gravity on the way down. Lower and lift. Lower. Feel your abdominal muscles working as well as you hug in at your navel. A gentle hug around your midsection protects your low back. This is called bracing your core. Press, lower. Just a couple more. Last one. And lower. We'll take it to a tricep overhead press. You can cross your weights here if you've got light weights or just use one. Bring the weights up overhead, bend your elbows, taking the weights gently behind the head. Notice the ribs. Bring the rib cage down and in so it doesn't jut out as you're working. Reach up and lower. Visualize the back of the upper arms as you lengthen. Visualize that tricep muscle strengthening, lifting and lowering. So tricep overhead presses will tone and strengthen the back of your upper arm. You're also working your shoulders. The rotator cuff muscles stabilize your shoulders as you lower and lift the weight here. Last two. And last one. All right, remove or bring the weights down for tricep presses behind you. Another tricep move, bend the knees, hinge forward at the hips, straighten the arms, send them back, squeeze the upper arm, and then bend the elbows, bring the arms up and straighten. Each time you straighten, really squeeze the upper arm. Keep your mind focused on the muscle group you want to strengthen to make your exercises more effective and efficient. Reach it back and in. We still have some gentle bracing in our core to prevent the low back from arching. You see, we pull the low ribs in, we hug in at the navel. Maybe you can bend the knees a little more and hinge forward just a bit. This helps gravity work with the exercise. Last two. And last one. Come on up. We're going to move into a row to a fly. For our row, reach your weights out in front of you. Pull your elbows back by your sides. Then straighten the arms and fly your arms out to the sides using your back muscles, the muscles between your shoulder blades. So row, reach, lift, and lower. Slowly lower. So row, reach, we lift. Resist gravity on the way down. Slowly lower. Row, reach, lift, and lower. Strengthening our arms, our back, our shoulders. Reach, lift, slowly lower. And each time you row, squeeze the shoulder blades together in the back, then reach out in front. Last two. And last one, lower the weights. We're gonna take the right foot back into a lunge and add some side arm raises. So step your right foot back, the heel is gonna stay lifted, and we're gonna lift the arms out to the side arm raise. Step the feet together and lower the arms. Switch feet each time. So stepping back with the opposite foot. Strengthening our deltoid muscles with our lateral arm raises here, creating that nice toned, rounded shoulder. Strong arms make all our daily activities and chores so much easier. All that scrubbing you might be doing in your kitchen, in your bathroom, your arms will be strong and you'll get the job done quicker and easier. You also get a nice stretch in your back hip each time you lunge back. So last two, last one, and lower the arms. Split leg lunge with bicep curls is next. Let's just take our right leg back, bend both knees. We're gonna hold here in this position. Each time you pulse, add a bicep curl. Lower and lift, lower. So this workout is toning all sides of our arms. We'll be working on our core and our legs as well to get a full body workout in this morning. Lower, lift. Keep your elbows by your sides here. Palms are facing up, focusing the movement on your bicep. Last two, last one. Step the feet together, shake it out. The legs are working hard too. We'll step back with the left leg this time. Lift the back heel, lower the legs, come into your split lunge position, a static split lunge. We'll add the bicep curl as we pulse the legs up and down. You can grab a hold of the weights, really gripping the weights as you come up and resisting gravity on the way down. Lower and lift. Shoulders stay down, away from the ears. Neck stays soft. Last two. And last one. Step the feet together. We're going to move into a plank hold position. You can set your weights down. Come on down to your mat. Maybe you're gonna start in a modified plank with your knees down or a full plank. We're gonna do a 45-second plank hold. Lift the knees up. Keep breathing. Notice the head. Don't let the head start to droop downward. Keep the gaze towards the mat and the hips slightly lifted, tailbone pointing down towards the heels. Keep a little bend in your elbows. Planks are a great full body exercise. They really strengthen your arms and your upper body. Of course, they work your core muscles too as you keep the hips lifted and the abs engaged. You can do this, just a few more seconds here. Last three, last two, and last one. Lower your knees. Great job. Grab a hold of just one of your weights. We're gonna do a plank hold with a weight drag. This one is really fun. You can always do this one with your knees down as well. So reach under, grab your weight, and draw it to the opposite side. So we'll be reaching under and moving the weight each time for 45 seconds. Maybe you alternate between a full plank and a half plank as you build up your core strength. So as we drag the weight over, we're essentially doing a one-arm plank there. That strengthens the muscles of your forearm and your shoulder and provides some weight bearing for the bones in your wrist. We want that weight bearing so we can keep our bones strong and keep our muscle mass. Notice your hips. Try to stabilize your hips even as you're shifting from arm to arm. Last three, last two, and last one. Come on down. We're gonna move it into a side plank with a leg lift. If your mat is thin, you might add some elbow padding under your arm. I'm coming onto my left forearm here. Bottom leg is bent, top leg is straight. We're going to lift the hips up and then lift the leg up. Lower the leg, lower the hips. If you want to add a weight, you can press the weight up overhead. That works your core muscles a little more with the instability of the weight overhead. So we lower the hips. Lift, lift, lower, lower. So as you work on your side planks, pay attention to your shoulder. We don't want to sink into our shoulder joint. Press up and out of the shoulder, protecting the shoulder joint. Lift, lift, lower, lower. Lift, lift, lower, lower. Take a break anytime you need to. If your low back is getting fatigued or you feel any sort of pinching in your low back, you can just do the leg movement here. Lift, just a few more. And last one, lift, lift, lower, lower. Bring the weight down. We're gonna move into a side plank with a twist. Option to use the weight or not. Bring both legs in this time in a modified side plank. So with the knees bent, press the knees into the mat, lifting the hips up. You can have your weight reach up overhead and then reach under with a little gentle twist, allowing the hips to turn with the twist. Reach and lift. So listen to your body here. Take breaks when you need to. Maybe you do this one without the weight. This is really strengthening our obliques, the muscles on the sides. Reach and lift. Almost there. Let's do two more. Last one, and lower the hips. Nice job. Press yourself up to a seated position. Bring your left leg forward and your right leg back. We're moving into pretzel twists. So our right leg is in front of us about 90 degrees. Lean over to your left side and you can lift your back leg up and pulse it back. Pulse in and out. So we're working the outer hip here, pulsing the leg in and out, back, in. So I love these pretzel kicks for toning the hips, strengthening the gluteus, the glute medius, the muscles right around the sides of your hip. Reach and bring it in. Last two. And last one, and lower the leg. We'll move right into gate pose. You have your padding right here. You can place your left knee on the padding. Straighten your right leg out to the side. This is our gate pose. Reach the arms out to start with, and then take your left hand down right in line with your front knee. Reach the top arm up and overhead, stretch through the side body, and then lift the leg and tap the hand to the leg. You can do this with or without weights. If you want an extra challenge, you can grab a hold of one of your dumbbells and gently bring the hand to the leg, keeping a little bend in your elbow as you reach up. Inhale and exhale, lift the leg. Reach and lift. Last two. Last one. Bring the weight down, bring the legs down. We're gonna move into side planks on the opposite side. So switch your elbow padding around. Come onto your right side. Bottom leg is bent. Top leg is straight. We're gonna lift the hips, lift the leg, lower the hips. Option two, add a weight, holding the weight overhead. As you lift the left leg up, point through the toe, strengthening the feet, the calf muscle. Remember to keep pressing out of the shoulder here. Lift, lift, lower, lower. And last two. Last one. And lower the leg, bring the arm down, going into side forearm planks with a twist. We're gonna bend both knees this time. Grab a hold of your weight, lift the hips, reach the weight up, and then sweep the arm under the ribs and bring it back up. Sweep it under and reach. So most of our rotational movement happens in the thoracic spine or the middle back. So envision yourself rotating with the rib cage and the upper back as you reach under, strengthening the muscles of the core and the sides of the body, the obliques. You reach under and lift nice and slow and controlled here. Last one, and lower the hips. Press yourself back up. We'll move into those pretzel kicks that we did earlier. Right leg is in front, knee is bent this time. Left leg comes behind you. We're gonna have our hands right in front to stabilize. You can lean over to your right, lift your back leg and pulse it back. Point through the toes. Reach the leg back behind you. Bringing the knee in and pressing the leg back. Squeeze the back gluteus muscles, the back buttocks. Back and in, reach back. You're getting through this workout one exercise at a time. You're doing great. You're gonna feel so good when it's done. You can check that box off your to-do list today. Reach back and in. Last two. Last one, bring it all in. We're gonna come right into gate pose. Place your right knee on your mat or your knee padding. Straighten your left leg out. Reach the arms out to the side. Bring our right arm down to the mat in line with your front knee. Grab a hold of the weight if you'd like. We're gonna lift the leg and tap the outer thigh. Lower the leg and reach the arm overhead. Add a nice stretch here. Lift and lower. I love the overhead stretch here. You can feel the lengthening through the ribs, through the side. This is also a balancing pose. You're really balancing just on one knee and one hand, a very narrow base as you work. Last two. And last one. Lower the leg, bring your weight down, move your blanket prop out of the way. We're gonna go into some standing poses. Come all the way up and grab your chair. We'll take your chair to the right side. Bring your feet into a first position with the heels touching, toes pointed slightly out. We'll bend the knees, lower, lower, lift, lift. As you come all the way up, squeeze the inner thighs together, lower, lower, lift, lift and squeeze, lower, lower, lift, lift. So each time you come up, squeeze the legs together, squeeze the glutes, keep the chest lifted. Nice elongated posture as you work. Neck is long and soft. Last one, all the way up. We're gonna lift the heels this time, lift the heels up, maybe bring the toes a little closer together. We'll keep the heels lifted for this one. As you lower, lower, lift, and lift all the way up. Lower, lift, lift. Maybe you challenge your balance and take your hand off the chair. Working here from this small base of support on the balls of the feet. Lower, lift, lift. Keep pressing your big toe mound into the mat. Lower, lower, lift, lift, squeeze. Just a couple more. Lower, lower, and lift. Lift and hold here, hold, and lower the heels. Step the feet wide apart into a second position. Toes are turned out. We'll do that same movement again. As you bend the knees, drop the hips down. Knees are moving, backtracking over the ankles. So lower, lower, lift, lift. But we'll still have a little bend in the knees as we come up. Lower, lower, lift, lift. Take it slow and controlled. We can reach the arms out to the sides. Lower, lower, and lift, lift. Stay low here. Shoulders stay down. Last two. And last one. Lift, lift. We'll stay in this second position. We're going to alternate with heel lifts. Bend the knees, lower the hips down. We're going to lift one heel, so lift your right heel, then lower the heel and pulse. Lift your left heel, lower the heel, and add a pulse. Alternating heels each time. Lift, lower, lift, lower. So articulating through the feet, through the ankle. Press into the big toe each time you lift. Maybe sweep the arms out to the side and reach out with long, graceful arms. Shoulders stay down. Bring the arms out in front. You can reach them up overhead. Lower, lower, lift, and lower. Just a couple more. Last one. And straighten the legs. Don't go anywhere yet. We've got one more move in this second position. Lower the hips, bring the arms out in front. We're gonna hold here in a second, a wide second, and pulse. Slow pulses, lifting and lowering the hips, building muscle mass to keep you strong for years to come. This is where the real benefit comes in, when we start to feel the quadriceps burning a little bit. Get comfortable with your discomfort. This is so good for us. Lower and lift. You can do it. Your mind usually wants to quit before your body needs to, so just keep going a little bit more if you can. Bend and straighten. Last two. And last one, come on up, shake out the legs. We'll move into some hip drops to build some mobility into our hips. The feet are going to be parallel, about hip width apart. Put a bend in the knees. As you drop your right hip, let your right knee come forward a bit. So you'll need that knee to bend even more to drop your right hip down, and then bring your hips back level. Bend your left knee, drop your left hip. So you are stretching through the side of your hip. You are controlling the hips with your oblique muscles each time you drop the hip. Drop and lift level, drop, lift, bring them level. This is a very slow, controlled movement of the hip joint. Lower and lift. It may take some getting used to. You're moving your hips in a new way. And our nervous system loves new movements. It loves a challenge, so it can figure out how to most effectively do the exercise. Last one, and come up. Our legs are getting a workout today for sure. We're gonna go into some reverse lunges. You can have both hands on the chair to start. Step your left leg back away from the chair. Lower down and pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up and lift your back leg into an arabesque. Point through the toes, hinge forward, press into the chair. Drop the back foot and pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1. Arabesque lift. Long, graceful leg here. 4, 3, 2, 1. And lift. 4, 3, 2, 1, arabesque. You might feel a stretch in your standing leg as you arabesque. And last one, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Lower the leg. We'll step away from the chair into a side lunge. Step, bend the knee, the left knee, pull the left hip back and reach the right arm out long. Push up out of the foot into a parallel passe. So the knee is bent, toes hovering at the knee. Step lunge, press lift. So you have the chair there for support, or maybe you do this one without the chair and balance on the way up. Reach and lift. Hold for 1 or 2 seconds in this upright position. Find your balance. Last one. Come up and hold and lower the foot. We're gonna take the left leg out into a tendu, point the toes, rotate the heel forward slightly. This is your tendu position. You're gonna step the left leg behind you into a curtsy lunge. Curtsy, tendu, then we'll take the elbow up to, or the knee up to the elbow. Tendu, curtsy around the arm in front, tendu, elbow to knee. Reach, curtsy, reach, and bend. Reach, curtsy lunge, reach, and bend. So there's a lot happening here with the legs and the arms. You're building in balance, strength, and grace into your movements. And this is going to translate into your day, moving through your day with grace. Last curtsy. And come up. Nice job. We'll switch our chair to the other side. Move into those 3 exercises on the opposite side, starting with reverse lunge. Right leg steps back, heel is lifted. We pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1, and arabesque. Lift the back leg, hinge forward, lower the back foot and pulse for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift, lower for 4, 3, 2, 1, arabesque, slow and controlled, 4, 3, 2, 1, lift, stretch through the standing leg, keep the chest lifted, last one, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift, and lower. Go right into that side lunge, just like we did earlier. Right leg is going to step out, right knee bends, right hip goes back, opposite arm reaches out in front of you. Then push up and balance in a parallel passe. Side lunge and lift. I love having the chair here as you come up to catch you or to challenge you to try it without the chair. Press lift and lunge. Send the hips away back, keep the chest lifted. We're practicing keeping our spine in a neutral position. Last one, lunge, press lift and hold, hold, hold. And lower the leg, move right into a tendu. Right toes are out to the side, point through the toes, press the toes into the mat, rotate the ankle forward slightly, lift up through the chest, reach the arm out to the side. We'll step the foot back into a curtsy, curving the arm forward, step it out to tendu and bring elbow to knee. Step, curtsy, step, and bend. Reach, curtsy, reach, bend, reach. Maybe lift the hand off the chair. Working on your balance a little bit more here. Last one, curtsy, point, lift, and bend. We are going to lower down onto our mat. Just a few more exercises. Come onto your left side, grab a weight. We'll take our bottom leg and flex the foot and pulse it up. Pulse, pulse. You can do this with or without the weight. I like to add a little extra weight for this move to really strengthen the inner thighs. Keep lifting through the rib cage and the shoulder joint, just like we practiced earlier in our side planks. Pulsing up the bottom leg. So the inner thigh muscles connect to the base of your pelvis. Strong inner thighs support walking and hiking and all your locomotion activities. We're gonna take this movement and point the toe, then flex the foot, lift, lower, point, and flex. Lift, lower, point, flex, really moving through the whole range of motion in your ankle. Just a few more on this side, then we'll move into our bridges, and then we'll do our other inner side, inner thigh. Almost there. Lift, lower, nice and slow, point, and flex. Last one. Lower, point, and flex. Grab a hold of both your weights before you come down for your bridges. All the way onto your back, knees are bent. Weights are at the hip crease. We're gonna press the heels into the mat and lift the hips up. Lift, and lower the hips nice and slow. Lift, and lower. So bridges strengthen our whole posterior chain of muscles through our back, our glutes, our hamstrings. Bridges are one of those movements that I absolutely love. Increasing my hip strength has reduced back pain. It really supports your back and helps prevent low back injuries and pain by having a strong hip complex. Here we go, lift and lower nice and slow. Lift gently and slowly, avoiding any areas that are pain triggers, especially if you have anything going on with your low back. Stay in your pain-free range of motion for all of the exercises. Last one, lift and lower. We'll take the weights off, just place the weights down, place the palms on the mat. We're gonna do single leg bridges here, lifting the hips first. Bring your right knee towards your chest, straighten your right leg out, lift the leg to the sky, stretch through the hamstring, and then lower the leg. Let's do that again. Bring the knee in, straighten the leg, lift, and lower. So yes, we are holding the hips up the whole time. If you need a break, go ahead and lower the hips down and keep the leg moving. You can press the arms into the mat to support your torso. Knee comes in, leg goes straight, lift, and lower. Just a couple more. And last one, knee straightens, lifts, lowers. Short break, we'll switch sides. We'll do that on the opposite side. Let's come back to our bridge pose, the nice hip lift. Left knee comes into the chest. Straighten the left leg out, lift the leg to the sky, and lower. Bring the knee in, straighten, lift, and lower. You guys are looking so good out there. So single leg bridges are also great for dealing with imbalances in the hips. If one side is stronger than the other, this will help to remedy that. You might even notice if it's more challenging to do one side than the other. Last one. Bring the knee in and straighten, lower the hips. Great job. Come on up. Come to your other side. We're gonna work on our right leg or your opposite leg and your inner thigh. You can grab the weight and we're gonna pulse that bottom leg up. We're gonna do pulses right here. The foot is flexed, the rib cage is lifted, the shoulder joint is protected as you press away from the earth. You are almost there. You have one more exercise in this workout today and then you are done. I am so proud of you for jumping in and completing this workout. Taking care of yourself will help you to take care of all the other people in your life who depend on you. So good job today. Pulse, pulse, pulse. All right, we're gonna add that point flex. Lower the leg, point, flex, lift, and lower. Point, flex, lift, and lower. Really point through the toes as much as you can and flex the foot, stretching the Achilles tendon as you flex, stretching the calf muscle. So each time you flex the foot, you're not only strengthening, but you're lengthening the muscles along the lower leg. Point, flex, lift. You've got this, just a couple more. Last one. Lift and lower. All right, go ahead and sit up. We'll stretch out our inner thighs and hips. You can bring your feet together in butterfly pose. Sit up tall, grab a hold of your shins or your ankles or your big toe. Inhale as you lengthen your spine upwards. Exhale as you hinge the hips forward. That should feel really nice for the inner thighs. We did a lot of inner thigh work today with our plies, pulses. Did a lot of quad and leg work with our lunges. And of course we started with arms, so you got a full body workout in today. Let's bring the legs in and sweep the arms up overhead. Inhale and exhale. See another one of my cool down videos for more stretches for the hips and legs if you like. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you in the next workout. Bye.